Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
And I'm Ricky. Today we're reviewing That's Not a Hat.
That's Not a Hat is a game from Ravensburger. We'll be reviewing the regular version of the game, as well as the pop culture edition, which is small differences. We'll talk about that at the end of it. But Ricky, do you want to teach people how to play That's Not a Hat?
Sure. So, everyone is going to get a card. I'm going to get a card. I got a cactus.
Okay.
Abba's going to get a card. He got a taco.
Taco!
Phantom number 1 is going to get a balloon. Phantom mushroom is going to get an umbrella.
Beautiful. Okay.
Now, we're going to flip them all face down.
Okay, we're going to flip these down, face down, flip them out, and then start the game.
And now, who I'm playing first, because I decided I am, flip this over. I got a globe.
Okay,
I
perfect.
show everyone. This is a globe.
It is a globe. I definitely concur it's a globe.
I put it face down in front of me. And now, this arrow means I pass it.
So the first one you gift is going to go directly to a person. So you're going to gift the globe.
Oh, okay. So, well, let's arrow face in the same direction. So I'm going to go, Phantom 1, here is a globe.
Perfect. And they're going to say, thank you so much for the globe, Rix. Instead, you can have a...
Phantom mushroom, you can have a balloon.
A balloon. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for the balloon. I wish I had paid more attention to the setup over here, because
Now, Phantom mushroom is going to go...
I'm going to say...
Here, Abba. Here is an umbrella.
An umbrella. I'm so glad. I totally remember that. Thank you so much for the umbrella, Phantom. Here is a taco.
Thank you so much for the taco. Here, Phantom number 1 is, I forgot what it's called, a cactus.
A cactus. Now, I will say it's actually interesting. They're all pointing in the same direction right now because we are following the arrows. That can change things up a little bit. Thank you so much for the cactus, says Phantom number 1. Here is a balloon. Okay, this Phantom over here says, thank you so much for the balloon. And here is a umbrella. And I say, excuse me, I don't think that's an umbrella.
You passed me the umbrella last turn.
And I flip it, and it's a balloon. So, at this point, this Phantom one is going to take the card, put it in front of them, and they're going to go ahead and start with the next card.
A flower.
4-leaf clover. They're gonna take
flower. So there's 6 petals.
A 6-leaf clover, I agree. We're going to go ahead and gift the 6-leaf clover to...
Phantom number 1.
Okay, perfect. And they say, Rix,
thank you so much for the flower that is not a clover. Here is a cactus.
Ooh, oh my gosh, that's great. Thank you so much for the cactus. They say, here is a taco.
Taco.
I say thank you so much for the taco, and I say, here is a umbrella.
I say, thank you so much for the umbrella. I'm pretty sure this is the real taco.
Oh, that's the real taco?
I think so.
And then I sit there and say, no, that's not a real taco, and I flip it over, and it is the taco. So, twice now you've seen 2 different ways this plays out. I don't actually remember.
Neither do I.
I don't remember what's in the play. In fact, right now, actually, pause. You, watching right now, you can pause. What are the cards in play? Because we've seen the taco over here, we've seen the balloon. What are the other 4 cards, and where are they? Because right now, here are the cards in play. So if you can figure this out. You know what this is?
Yeah.
What do you think it is? We'll take turns going back and forth.
It's an umbrella.
Flip it and see. It is an umbrella. I know what this is.
You do?
Nope. This.
It's not a baguette.
This is a 4-leaf clover.
It's not a 4-leaf clover. This is a cacti.
And right about now, do you remember the last card in play?
No.
Give me a second here. We had a taco. Yours was a food. That was your other one, wasn't it?
No, I had a cactus, and then I had the flower, a potty flower.
What did we see?
I'm confused.
I don't remember what's in play.
Neither.
A globe!
Oh, right. I forgot that existed.
This happens. Every time you play, this happens.
I know.
This is basically That's Not a Hat. You're going to go round and around, gathering new cards, and then passing to people. It's called That's Not a Hat because sometimes you say, here's a hat, and they say, that's not a hat, and they flip it over. That's the basic idea of the game. You're going to play until one player has 3 cards in front of them, which means either they passed a card to someone and were called out, that's not a hat, and it wasn't a hat, or because they called a card and they said, that's not a hat to someone else, and it was a hat. Basically, whatever happens, you're wrong. So when you're wrong, you put the card in front of you. Once you have 3 cards in front of you, you lose the game, and everyone else cheers and has a good time. You also have a good time, hopefully.
Like Cockroach Poker.
Yeah,
but it's a lot
like Cockroach Poker. There's a lot of similarities between the games.
Except no one has any idea what's happening, and half the time you're not deliberately lying. You just genuinely have absolutely no clue and can barely remember. what the cards are.
Yeah,
let
I
alone
think
which
she's
ones
talking
are.
about this game, but she could also be talking about Cockroach Poker right now, honestly. Same
Cockroach
things.
Poker, you can tell how many cards are in play and what people are most likely to have based on your hand and what's out.
That's
so.
true. Now, that's not a hat, the party, what's it called? Pop Culture Edition. This is going to have two differences. The first is going to have cards that are more pop culture in nature.
Like a cassette player versus a cassette versus a radio and all those things look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And when we flip them over, we can't even tell if we're right or wrong.
I'm with Ricky on this. Not that we're reviewing yet, but for the most part, it's just other cards. Sometimes you get things like, a lava lamp. That's pop culture-y, I guess, but it's just more stuff, basically. You also will introduce these things over here on the back, which these cards can be passed to anyone. So this adds a degree of chaos to the game because you draw this card and you pass it to anyone at the table you want, just giving you more room for, like, if you were trying to track things based off of, well, the umbrella is next to the balloon and this is next to that, this will just ensure utter chaos. That's basically how it adds.
I never even thought about trying to do it like that.
Yeah.
I just try to catalog who has what and when they pass it. And
but with that, we're going to go ahead and review the games, and then I guess we can tell you our thoughts and differences in pop culture versus not. But Ricky, what do you think about That's Not a Hat?
It's not a hat.
It's not a hat. You're right. That's your review. Until next time, I'm Alex from Board Game Co. This has been our review of That's Not a Hat, as well as Pop Culture Edition. And as always, I hope you have a good one. We're still going.
I can tell. I couldn't tell.
That's Not a Hat. That's Not a Hat is, to me, this game is chaos. It is sheer, utter chaos. There's
it's so funny.
Nothing about this game is like strategy. It's memory combined with chaos. Memory and chaos. Actually, that's not true. There is strategy to the game. Sometimes it's less important to remember where things are and more important to remember what's in the game. Because if you sit there and you just confidently sit there and say, "Oh, Vicky, that's a globe," and she's like, "Okay, there was a globe, but I don't know what it was. I thought you had a taco, but you sound sure of yourself. What do I do?" That will happen a lot in the game. Sometimes you can have a lot of fun even taking things on that you know are wrong because you can pass the conflict to the next person and just complete utter chaos will ensue as you play this game.
The funniest part is when you're playing with a 4-year-old
who
is obsessed with the fact that one time he was right about a baguette. So, first of all, he never believes anyone now, and whenever he passes a card, he says it's a baguette. But the funniest part is when he's playing on someone else's team, he's like, "This is a pizza." And then the person's like, "It is a pizza-flavored lava lamp. It's a pizza-themed lava lamp." They rephrase it, so it still doesn't realize that you changed what it is, but it's still. But now they're saying what they think it is.
Yeah, the core game loop is just basically designed to make sure that players will not remember things, and then have the hilarity ensue that will happen when that happens. And you will have fun things just constantly going on. Players will flip over a globe like Rick and I just did and be like, "Oh, that's what's been missing in the game the whole time." You will have players who are ganged up on as they slowly acquire cards. It's just a simple game to teach, a crazy game to play,
gang up on anyone.
and an overall good time.
You have literally no choice other than what you're saying.
That's a fair point. You're not wrong. Now I'm talking about Cockroach Poker. Cockroach Poker has you ganging up on someone who's losing. You're right. You're correct.
That one's just try to get them as confused as possible when you can actually pass it to them, which is like 2 people.
And then as far as the Pop Culture Edition, my thoughts on this one are I like the extra cards that add a degree of going anywhere. The rest of it, I don't really care. Take it or leave it. The extra cards are not bad. I think that I prefer the cards from the base game a marginal amount, but I prefer having the ability from Pop Culture. So to me, I would say you can't go wrong either way. You can pick up both if you really want to, but I don't think you need to. Either one you pick up will probably be a good time, and you'll probably have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your score on this game?
4.
I also want to give it a 4. This is a 4 to 5 to me. It is not a game that gets a 4 to 5 based off of any sense of skill. It gets a 4 to 5.
It's too loose for what you're in the mood of.
If you have a large group of people,
it depends on a large crowd.
That's another thing. Yeah, if you have a group of people, you do want, I'd say, a minimum of 4 people. But realistically, this game I think is best with 5 to 7. Once you start getting to 8, is there a maximum count on this? I don't even know.
Do not go to 8. You will cry.
What is the player count? It's 3 to 8. Yeah, at 8 players.
Do 8, you will cry.
Even at 7, it's pushing it. I think 5 to 6 is the best player count for this game. 4 is a little less chaos, and 7 and 8 is a little more chaos. 5 to 6 is the sweet spot, but all of those, anything from 4 to 8 will be fun.
Yep.
3, I think, is way too little. Like, you could play this with 3. It's not a game that I would pull out with 3. I'm going to pull out so many other party games before this at 3 players.
Yeah. My personal favorite thing what happens is that when people give different names to the same card.
Oh,
like, one time we had a dog, and I was playing with someone who had a dog.
Yeah.
So I kept calling the dog the name of their dog.
Yeah, that
well,
makes
everyone else called it a dog, so I'm like, here is Mika.
Yeah. And this game, we had a 4-leaf clover, and Ricky kept calling it a flower. Like, that kind of stuff will happen. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Rapp from Board Game Co. This has been your review of That's Not a Hat.
And I'm Ricky.
And have a good one.